Human in the loop. Human in the loop.
Hi, I'm Amy.
And I'm Sean. Today we'll answer every question about agents, from what even is an agent, all the way to, will this thing eat my job?
The internet has thoughts. We have answers.
Let's get into it. Question 1. What is an agent? All right, good. So we got an easy one to start. I can take this one.
Okay.
Honestly, people get confused about this all the time. I kind of thought agent was just a marketing buzzword until I joined here. At its core, an agent is just an LLM calling and running with this ability to call tools. Think of those tools as functions. The model has a task to complete. So it picks a tool, looks at what comes back, and then either formulates a final response or decides it needs to call another tool. That loop, decide, act, reason, repeat, is what makes an agent.
Nice.
What do you think?
I think that makes sense.
Yeah. All right, you get the next one?
Question number 2. What is RAG? So I would think of retrieval augmented generation as giving the model an open book test instead of making it memorize everything. The model was trained on, let's say, like public data, so it doesn't have any context on your company docs, your customer history, or your internal knowledge base. What RAG does is it retrieves what's relevant, drops it into context right before the model answers.
All right, that was a harder one. You did good.
Yeah.
All right, next one. Maybe I'll get another easy one. What is MCP? Okay, MCP, or Model Context Protocol, kind of like a USB-C cable for agents. Before it, every tool connection was custom built for your agents. One integration per database, per API, per file system. MCP is a standard plug that any compliant model can use. You write the server once, you connect it to everything, it's quickly become the default for how agents talk to the rest of the world.
Why do agents hallucinate?
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, that's a great question. I'd say technically it's the model that hallucinates, not the agent. LLMs are essentially glorified word guessers. When that guess is wrong, it sounds just as confident as when it's right. I think agents make this a little bit more dangerous because errors compound. And so one hallucinated fact in step 2 poisons step 3, step 4, and everything downstream. And the loop sort of just amplifies this mistake.
Which is exactly why you can't just vibe check your agent and send it out into the world. You need to actually verify the agent knows what it's doing. I use evals for that. I think that's kind of the de facto way to do that.
Yeah, evals are great.
Next question. This one's a long one. What is the agent development lifecycle?
So the agent development lifecycle is the process that agent engineers use to build and improve their agents. There are 4 phases. You can build it in code with a framework like Deep Agents, test it with real inputs and expected outputs, deploy it into production, and monitor it with tracing and evals.
I feel like we need this on a poster.
We literally have this on a poster.
I get the next question because it looks way shorter. What is memory? See if I remember this one. Memory is how agents hold on to information beyond a single run.
Short-term memory is your context window, basically everything in scope right now. For example, I remember what I had for breakfast this morning.
Long-term memory is what persists. User preferences, decisions from last week, facts that agents learned and need to carry forward. For example, I'm supposed to remember that my mom's birthday is in October every year. Next question. Mine or yours?
I'll take this one.
I'm confident. She doesn't even know what it is yet.
We'll see. What is human in the loop?
Well, I'm glad I don't have this one.
Should have gave Sean this one. I would say that human in the loop is sort of a design pattern where the agent pauses and waits for a human to approve before sort of like taking the next action. I think the best production agents use this very deliberately, right? So like you'll let the agent handle the routine and you only interrupt for like a really high stakes action. For example, like, hey Sean, is it cool if I upload this video to YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay, not bad. How about if I send this message on your behalf to Harrison?
Probably not.
I'd say the best teams sort of like shipping the best agents just aren't really going for full autonomy on day one. They're sort of like building systems where humans and agents can divide the work very intelligently.
All right, let's see. I'm getting the next one then. How do you evaluate an agent? Agent evals.
Agent eval.
This one's controversial.
Guys, this one's spicy.
I'm obviously a big proponent of agent evals. One of the big reasons that we need different evals for agents than traditional software is with traditional software, you can kind of expect certain outputs and certain inputs. With agents, that's very different, right?
Yeah.
The input can be all of natural language. And then even for the same input, you're not going to get to the same outputs,
100%.
right? So instead of testing for exact outputs, you're going to define what good looks like in your case.
Yeah.
Right? You can use like an LLM as judge to do that. It can test certain steps. Was it right without making something up? You're then going to build a data set of real world examples, stuff that test your agent, like edge cases, and then run those tests every time you make a change to your agent to make sure you don't regress on any of those evals.
Yeah, for sure. Sean sounds like an expert. And I think with evals, like you want to make sure you run these continuously, not just before you ship. Every time you sort of like tweak a prompt or you like swap a model out, I think you want to immediately know if something has regressed. I think the teams that really get this right treat evals sort of as a muscle. You build it early, you're running it constantly, because I think the alternative is like finding out your agent started recommending the wrong product 3 weeks ago from a customer complaint.
Yeah.
And that's a nightmare that like nobody wants to run into.
Yeah. Getting close to the end.
Checking along, we're almost there. What is LangChain?
All right, this is a good question.
This is my favorite question.
Okay, she has to say that.
So LangChain started as an open source framework that actually predates ChatGPT. It's
Wow.
kind of crazy. We were like helping engineers sort of wrangle LLMs before most people had even heard of the word prompt. And I think as this space kind of changed and we saw developers wanting to build more agents, we released LangGraph, which is an agent runtime and low-level orchestration framework.
But since then, we've evolved from just an open source framework. We're not really that anymore. We now serve the full agent development lifecycle. That's building, obviously LangChain, LangGraph, deep agents. We talked about testing, which is like evals, regression testing, deployment, which is Langsmith deployments, right? Deploying your agent, getting that runtime together. And then monitoring, which is also sort of evals again. Those like testing, deployments, monitoring, that's all coming through Langsmith, which is our platform for agent reliability, observability. Turns out building the agent is really fun.
Super fun.
Kind of easy now, but actually keeping it from going completely sideways in production is the hard part.
Super hard.
Yeah, and people are sometimes less interested in learning about that, but it's way more important than having a little demo agent. How do you actually bring it to production? So more than, I think it's like 7,000 organizations, like some big names, NVIDIA, Bridgewater, Harvey, use Langsmith to ship these agents so they can actually hold up in production in front of their customers with their brand image on the line. Final question.
Last one.
And we're just getting into the flow of things.
Guys, this is so fun. I don't want
Okay.
this to end. How do I get
Oh, wow. The suspense is killing me.
started building agents?
Oh, this is a great final question, actually, isn't it? It's
$1,000,000
lovely.
question.
Yeah.
The way I think about it is if you're a developer who is, I'd say, pretty comfortable building agents, deep agents is the easiest way to start building agents. It has like built-in task planning, file systems for context management. You can create sub-agents and long-term memory.
Or if you're brand new to building agents and you're not really comfortable or you don't want to get hands-on with code, you could start building agents with Fleet. That's our no-code agent builder where you build agents using natural language. You describe what you want, Fleet builds it for you. You can then share it across your entire team. So it's kind of cool then. It's like kind of flexing a little bit like, look at this cool agent I just built.
Either way, you can integrate your agent into Langsmith, which is our platform for testing, deploying, and monitoring agents.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, as we covered, that's way more important than actually building the agent.
And I think with Langsmith, you can actually identify where decisions went wrong, what your agent was reasoning. You can use these evals that Sean's super excited about to measure agent performance and also validate your improvements before shipping. But I think the best part is that Langsmith actually works with any framework or model you choose.
I say it's not just LangChain, it's not just deep agents, not just Fleet, like,
Anything.
yeah. I mean, we could get them to try out both.
We could.
See what they think.
All right. Links to both are in the description below. Try them out and tell us which one works best for you. Thanks for joining the LangChain team on answering the web's most searched questions about agents.
If you want to learn more about any of the topics we covered today, check out LangChain Academy for full-length courses starring yours truly and other LangChain educators.
Bye for now.